We do know that he had neo-Nazi ideation. He had patches, he had tattoos.
We're learning new information about the man who shot and killed 8 people at the Outlet Mall in Allen. What authorities revealed about his background?
Plus, mourning those lost in the shooting and how one victim is being remembered in her home country of India.
Whole country and our community is all grieving.
Victims of gun violence have been at the Capitol demanding changes to gun laws, and now one Republican may be open to discussions.
So you're willing to consider some measures?
I absolutely am, and we have to sit down and have these conversations.
Live from downtown Dallas, WFAA News at 6 starts now.
For the first time, we're hearing from the lead agency about the evidence they've collected on that mass shooting in Allen, including how many weapons the suspect brought to the mall and how he bought them. Thank you for joining us. I'm Chris Lawrence.
I'm Cynthia Izaguirre. We can now show you actual pictures of each of the victims who lost their lives. In just the last hour, family members shared a photo of Elio Cumana Rivas, a 32-year-old man from Dallas. There were 3 children who are among the 8 victims, and at the outlets, the memorial in honor of the people killed continues growing. There are several sets of crosses, a lot of flowers, stuffed animals, and mementos.
The Department of Public Safety says in the past 72 hours, more than 1,100 cars and trucks have been picked up from the parking lot. Authorities have also set up a family assistance center where shoppers and employees can collect any personal items they had to leave behind last weekend.
And tonight we continue our team coverage, getting answers about what happened on Saturday. We are covering this mass shooting from all angles. Teresa Woodard and Jason Whiteley are getting reaction to the response in Austin. But we begin with our senior crime and justice reporter, Rebecca Lopez, tonight. Rebecca, what new information do we have about the suspect?
Well, Cynthia, one of the things that they confirmed is what we have been reporting through our sources, that this suspect was a racist and that he espoused neo-Nazi ideology. They also said that the Allen Mall was in fact targeted by this suspect probably for quite some time, and that more information is emerging about his extremist views. It all happened in just a few minutes from the time the shooter arrived, opened fire, and was killed.
I think within 3 or 4 minutes, the Allen PD officer had neutralized the suspect.
Investigators say Mauricio Garcia had 8 weapons, 3 on him, and 5 in his car, all of them obtained legally.
None of them were stolen, anything else. And now we're running checks on them to see if they were using any crimes.
DPS, who is in charge of this investigation, says they haven't determined a motive and believe he shot people at random.
To me, it looks like he targeted the location rather than a specific group of people.
But it's important to note that the majority of the people who died were people of color. WFAA has been poring over a social media account that authorities are also looking into. We found this photo of Garcia with a swastika tattoo on his chest and one on his arm. A law enforcement source told ABC News Garcia was found wearing a right-wing death squad patch.
We do know that he had neo-Nazi ideation. He had patches, he had tattoos, even his signature, verified that.
We asked DPS Regional Director Hank Sibley if this was a case of domestic terrorism, given Garcia's white supremacist views.
Obviously, circumstantially, you might say something like that, but we need to get more into his ideology, get into his social media, and see more than we have.
In some of the posts we saw, Garcia talked about scouting the mall, peak visitor times, and he visited the Outlet Mall last May and January. Authorities say it was a planned attack. In looking at those social media posts, we did find a suicide note that was posted on the day of the shooting. And Garcia said he was lost. Even if he went to a psychologist, they couldn't have fixed what was wrong with him, is what he said. Cynthia.
Rebecca, what are some of the questions you did not get answered from law enforcement today?
Cynthia, how was he indoctrinated? This is a Latino male that grew up in East Dallas. How did he become a white supremacist and a neo-Nazi? Also, Cynthia, a lot of people want to know, were there warning signs? Apparently, he was not on law enforcement's radar. And so law enforcement always says to people and families, if you see something, if you see extreme behavior, especially someone with such dangerous ideology, contact law enforcement because you could be saving some lives, Cynthia.
That is correct. Neighbors did tell us that he appeared odd, but law enforcement today did say he did not have a criminal history. Our thanks to you, Rebecca Lopez. And in less than 30 minutes, the Allen City Council is scheduled to hold its first meeting since the shootings. It gets underway at 7 o'clock at City Hall. We have a crew there, and we'll have reaction tonight at 10.
We're constantly learning more about the victims, including a young engineer who lived in McKinney. The body of Aishwarya Tharikonda is being flown to her hometown in India for her family. Jobin Panikkar shows us how one co-worker is choosing to remember her.
She was shopping for her 28th birthday. It would be the last day Aishwarya Tharikonda was alive, one of the 8 victims of Saturday's shooting.
The grief is there, and I think it will be there for a very long time.
Sri Chaluvadi was her boss. He remembers a smart, determined engineer with a great smile.
I wish and I pray that I would never get this kind of experience.
Well, family and friends have been scrambling to get Aishwarya's body from here in Collin County to her hometown of Hyderabad, India. We're told that happened Tuesday morning. Her body was sent on a plane through DFW Airport. Ashok Kola with the Telugu Association of North America had the help of Collin County officials, the state, and the consulate.
Usually it's 36 to 48 hour process, which we streamlined yesterday, and we are able to do it in less than 12 to 13 hours. Okay, we did it. And that's the strength of our organization and our volunteers.
Getting Aishwarya home for her family was a priority, and immediately, according to Hindu custom.
It is an emotional, and the whole country and our community is all grieving, and they're all heartbroken.
It is hard enough to see all this loss. Imagine feeling it half a world away. In Allen, I'm Jobin Panikkar.
2 of the other victims were little girls, 11-year-old Daniela Mendoza and her 8-year-old little sister, Sophia. Their mother was wounded in the shooting and is still being treated at a local hospital. In Wiley, neighbors have wrapped yellow ribbons around some of the trees representing the girls' favorite color. They took cheer and tumbling classes at Wiley Elite, and the gym is collecting Visa card donations to help the family with groceries and other expenses.
Medical City Healthcare continues to treat 6 shooting victims. They say 2 patients are showing improvement. There is now 1 person listed in critical condition, 1 in serious, 2 in fair, and 2 in good condition. So some good news to see that improvement there. Irvin Walker II is one of the victims in a hospital. According to his attorney, Walker was driving in his car when the gunman began shooting into his vehicle. He was shot in the chest and shoulder and is recovering. A GoFundMe account is set up to help with his medical expenses. You can find a link to help him and the other victims' families on WFAA.com.